Men of Reddit, have you ever refused S, and if so, why? She was really drunk and I was sober. Same here. Became friends with a girl at uni not long after starting in 1996. She was beautiful, and I mean stunning and way out of my league. Plus we had both had baggage from recently splitting up with previous SH-tie relationships. She came over to my room in the early hours of one morning. Pissed as a fart. Tried to seductively undress but stumbled around and clattered into everything. I helped her take off her shoes and jeans that were subsequently round her ankles and put her into bed. I slept under a blanket on my armchair. She woke with the worst hangover and riddled with embarrassment. We've now been together 27 years. She's still stunning. Pissed as a fart. I haven't heard that in I don't know how many years. I think my dad used to say it. But that was 30 years ago. Whereabouts are you from? That strip of the UK that's kinda in the middle of nothing. A bit too north for the southeast but not quite the north enough for Midlands and definitely not East Anglia. I did this once at a party. She was drunk off her eye and peeling her clothes off like a banana peel. Had her eye on me the whole time and even gave me a lap dance wearing nothing but her panties. I was 19, hadn't been drinking, yet, and all I could see is her waking up the next morning screaming tension. Pass. Happened to me once. Went out for drinks after work with some coworkers. One thing led to another and I offered to drive her home. She asked to stop by my place and have another drink and use the bathroom. Her roommate had someone over I guess, and I was fine with it. Next thing I knew she was taking off her dress, grabbing my arm and putting my hands on her body, and she was taking off my pants. I gave up trying to stop her, and it was the first time I ever faked an orgasm because I wanted it to stop. She fell asleep right after, and I slept on the floor. I woke up the next morning and she was claiming I assaulted her. All her friends now dislike me. Turns out she had blacked out right before we got to my place and didn't remember a thing. It wasn't our first time hooking up, we had dated for a year like a year prior. The silver lining I guess is that she realized what had actually happened and apologized. We agreed that it shouldn't have happened, and it sucked for both of us. 1010 would not recommend, and now I'm a little traumatized. Anytime a girl who has been drinking even a little is showing interest in me I won't engage at all. All in all it's pretty effed up since she is technically my boss. And if the roles were revered, I was blackout drunk and forced myself on her, I absolutely would have gone to jail. I'm probably one of the most horniest guy on here, but there are times when we all want to be left alone. And sometimes you just want to sleep. My first time turning a girl down for S was because I wanted sleep more. Lol, I'm a drummer, and had just finished playing a 4-hour set at a dive bar, cover band. It's 3 a.m., and a fan asked me if I wanted to go back to her place. I had hardly enough energy to carry my gear into my apartment, much less the energy to do that after S. I felt terrible about it, because I kinda liked her. But darn, I was just not going to be able to perform, pun not intended. Yeah, you don't want to just be a S symbol. True. Yes, because she has feelings for me and I don't want to play with her feelings. She's a good person. You're a good guy and made the right decision. As a woman it hurts to be rejected. But later, it means so much more when you start thinking clearer and you realize it was the best that way. What's worse is being rejected by a man after he's decided to sleep with you, several times, knowing the whole time you have feelings for him that aren't reciprocated by him. Total bullocks. This is like 90% of Tinder now, under the guise of situationships. The person without the feelings has already rejected the person with the feelings but will keep sleeping with them until person with the feelings finally figures it out. I've had a couple of those too, way back in college. A few girls wanted me to be their first but I did not feel about them the way they felt about me. I wasn't going to just sleep with them and be their first experience without having loving feelings towards them. They were great friends and caring people. I didn't want to ruin that for them. I was invited over to a woman's apartment after a second date, and after some making out I went down on her until she came. She proceeded to tell me that she didn't give head out of principle and didn't really like S. Just wanted me to come as fast as possible to get it over with. But I still want you to have fun. My male reproductive organ was flabbergasted and refused to participate. My male reproductive organ was flabbergasted and refused to participate is my favorite sentence today. Or brand new sentence. If you make a screenshot and post, please can you cover this comment with a flabbergasted male reproductive organ? Nothing keeps my erection more rock hard than the words just get it over with. Be still my beating cock. Yes, and it would have been my first time if I accepted. But she was high and I didn't even know her. I lost my virginity the first day of college to a random girl I met at the pool. Her name was Virginia, so I took it as a sign. The first day, god darn. He was fresh meat. Yo same. The girl who asked me wasn't high, but I also turned down what would have been my first time. Just wasn't interested in her in that way. Yes, I didn't want to sleep with them. Right? This is a bonkers insulting question. Yeah, we don't just sleep with anyone who'll join us. But didn't you hear? All men are crazed animals with no self-control. This cosmopolitan lie has destroyed so many of my relationships. I know, right? Why the F do we have to give a reason to? Yes, one because she was drunk and another no condoms when she wanted to do pull out. I'm not risking that. Good choice, sir. Had a scare and I couldn't sleep for a month straight. Sounds like you were in dire straits. Man. Did pull out with a wife for a month. Expecting baby no. 3 now. Sounds like you need more practice. She was passed out drunk and her best friend, girl, said she really wanted me. Shoved me in a room with her and closed the door. I asked her if she was okay and she was conscious enough to smile and say come F me, and then she went back to sleep. I rolled her on her side, asked her to say who I was, and then got her a bottle of water and told her girlfriend I wasn't going to. Miss that girl. She was a sweetie, but her girlfriend was an absolute $1. I had a girl say something similar to me. Use my body any way you want, and then passed out. Yuck. No, thanks. I just went to sleep myself. I had a girl say this exact thing to me, in front of 20 other people at a party. We all just make eye contact and I handed her off to some of the other ladies at the house. We were all friends and know each other and still laugh about it today. Her friend is straight down malicious. Yes, because after 40 years of marriage, sometime you do and sometimes you don't want s. Tup. Sometimes life has been kicking your eye all day and you just want some peace and quiet. Lol, I have refused s since my first girlfriend. I'd quit, but I actually can be tired and not want to have s. I know all my make friends have said that makes no sense to them, but seriously, if you work labor all day or if you in the late night and you haven't been getting sleep, why would you want to wake your dick up for that? And by the way, I do all the work every time anyway. None of it makes sense to me. Peeing while standing when I'm tired and I can rest my doesn't make sense to me either. Yes, bunches of times. 1. I am married. Lots of offers. Some pretty explicit ones. Such as the new employee who invited me down to her parents' beach condo for a weekend to work on a proposal. No. Divorce court is not my idea of fun. The minute women learned I was getting married, I got some outrageous proposals. Yay, if you're in a relationship there's an element of oh he must be okay, not some creep, and also an element of I'm hotter and younger than her. Please, I'm with my girlfriend for a reason. Even when I was single, I didn't just bang anyone. Party girls. Yay, you're super hot but you're a G-mess. You've probably got about 3 guys on the go already. And do I really want to F in a club toilet at my age? I think not. Maybe I should start wearing my dead dad's wedding ring. Actually, I have. And it was recently. I'm not into the person that extended the offer, even though she's cool, and I just can't do the hookup thing. A best friend or something? No, it was one of those things where a co-worker was trying to hook me up. Yes, because she didn't look like her pics and I wasn't attracted to her. The old hiding her weight, choosing flattering angles for her face or hiding some part with her hair photos. A true classic. Since the times of MySpace. Don't forget the toilet in the background with the lid up. She was my mate's girlfriend, and I still think I did the right thing. You did the right thing. Brothers before hoes. Pals before gals. Did you tell him? Yeah, I told him. But I left the part where she climbed into bed naked and tried to ride me. I didn't want to ruin him. I was young and he was my uncle. He was my uncle would have been enough reason. Or would it? Vsauce music plays. In 1988, a world-renowned philosopher pondered. Yeah, I don't get this one. Are all men supposed to be crazy horny? 247? I definitely have turned down S multiple times. Several years ago someone wrote a book that contained the claim that men think about S on average every 7 seconds. It was not supported by anything. But a lot of people took it as gospel and now it has become a meme. FTFY. Everyone likes to pretend that men never say no. It makes it easier to make men the bad guy when all they want is S. My first girlfriend in high school wanted to have S, and boy I sure did too, but something didn't feel right. She got pregnant less than 6 months after we broke up. To quote, I wanted to accidentally get pregnant with your kid. We started dating when I was 15 and broke up when I was 16. I was in a similar situation. Got a booty call from my HSGF but was too dense to realize. About a year after we broke up she was pregnant. Often feel I dodged a bullet. When I was 16 I met this girl over the summer and we really hit it off. She lived like an hour drive from me so we didn't see each other often. I went to visit her for a long weekend once with both our parents' consent. I slept in a separate room but she came in super late and we ended up naked. We were pretty much ready to have sex. I asked if she had condoms and she basically told me she wanted our first time to be natural. Luckily something went off in my head that turned me off. I just thought about being a high school father and it made my male reproductive organ shrivel. We never went through with it, but after that she started telling me on the phone and via letters. This was the early 90s. People sent love letters. That she couldn't wait until we were married and had kids. Way too much for my 16-year-old brain to handle, so I broke up with her. I never checked in, but I'm positive she had a kid before graduating high school. What's the best response to I love you when you're not ready to say it back? I said it too soon. She responded with something resembling whale sounds. I drove home that night thinking I would never see her again. 6 years later. Sometimes when one of us says I love you, the other one will make whale sounds back. This is maybe the cutest thing I've ever heard. Good ending. When Monica Lewinsky told President Bill Clinton she loved him, he replied, "That means a lot to me." Such a presidential response. That's honestly a really great response. Acknowledges the sentiment, establishes appreciation, and leaves the door open to future development. Obviously there's badness coming from a married man whose wife is not aligned with the relationship. But that's a separate issue. Yeah, I mean especially post Me Too there's a lot to dissect about how we treated both Bill and Monica. But credit where it's due. That was smooth. We appreciate your loyalty. Here's a $25 Starbucks gift card. Is it guaranteed that if I tell someone that I love them, I will get a Starbucks gift card? Am I allowed to just use Starbucks gift cards to get out of all awkward social situations? I think I'm going to start carrying a stack of them. I can just hand them out and then walk away. Do you have 5 minutes to complete a survey? I said I love you before my partner was ready to say it back. He said, "I appreciate you being honest and telling me how you feel. I'm not there yet, but I think I will be someday. We now live together and I think he says it more than I do lol." Edit, I didn't expect this many people to like and comment on this. Thank you so much. This is an incredibly healthy way to respond. You should be higher in these comments, but, I mean those other answers are pretty hilarious. Edit, my wish came true. Lol. You're so sweet. I jumped back on here and had a big smile. I didn't expect so many to respond and like it. That's way better than what I did. My response was no. To be fair, we were 19 and hadn't been dating for long. 15 years later we are married with little one on the way. Cool. And then finger guns. Don't forget to add pew pew or chalk out to really make your feeling clear. Zoop. What a deep Reddit pull. I like your style. If the top answer is not I know, then I don't know about Reddit anymore. I'm honestly happy it's not top. I am ready for a Reddit that's beyond the same predictable comments. Your sentiment has been noted. I'll take it under consideration. Thank you. I have received your response. I will reply within 2,448 hours. 2,448 working hours. I am out of office until Tuesday 2,908 and will not be able to respond to messages before then. We will follow your career with great interest. I love YouTube. I love you too. I could have said I love Belle Biv DeVoe. Ugh. I really wish you wouldn't stand so close to me after you take your hummus break. This reminds me of a coworker who used to say to his customers, "Thanks S," and then say again indignantly, "I said, thanks a lot." I feel like given my poor English pronunciation skills, this could actually happen to me lol. I think we're both reading the same book. You're just a chapter or two ahead of me. I'm catching up though. Responses like this sounds good on paper, but in real life you would be a real weirdo responding by this. Haha, yeah. Great response for a movie or TV show. But Earl, it's gonna be more like that was surprisingly verbose. Did you have that ready? Did you memorize a phrase to say for when this happens? Unless you actually talk like that, maybe find something a little more grounded. Aw heck nah. Grounded enough? You are very important to me too. Your feelings are very important to us. Please hold. Your love will be returned in the order it was received. All of our feelings are busy loving other customers. If you'd like, press 1 to leave your number and you will receive some love back as soon as we are emotionally available. You will not lose your place in line. Shut up baby, I know it. Robotically pimp walks off. How TF, I can't even picture it. Hey Bender. If it comes at an awkward or inappropriate time, like a first date, and you're not going to say it back, it probably doesn't matter what you say next, And there's too much situational variability to provide a singular "this is the best response" answer to the question. If it comes at an appropriate time, but you're just hung up on it, you have about half a second to decide if this person means enough to you to risk effing things up by not saying it back or getting over your hang-ups and reciprocating. Someone said they loved me way too soon. I said I loved him, even though I didn't at that time. Eventually, I did love him. Then, he said he lied and never loved me. This was after 14 years together. I don't share my love frivolously. No one else ever said they love me. He was with you for 14 years. The lie was saying he never loved you. That comment was to hurt you at what seems to be the end of a relationship. Thanks, it still stings. I wish you would talk to me again. Pocket sand. Shishi Shaw. Why you gotta make me sad like that? R.I.P. Why you gotta say R.I.P. like that? Are you R.I.P.ing the show or the actor? He's dead, isn't he? I know. Chewie, roars. Han, that, I did not know. Get in there, you big furry oaf. I don't care what you smell. That can be arranged. Thank you for having the courage to say that to me, and I am so flattered. Right now, I don't feel ready to say it back. I like you very much, but I'm just not ready to say I love you. I think this is the answer that would hurt me the least of them all. I once told a guy rain check. I've learned from that. And another I laughed. Another learning experience. I don't want to hurt feeling intentionally. Rain check is funny as F. Though, so at least you have that going for you. Realistically, though, presuming this is someone you could see yourself reciprocating the feeling to, your original response is great. It acknowledges and respects the other person's feeling. It doesn't diminish them, and it reassures them that they are important to you, even if you don't feel up to reciprocating the whole thing at this time. I will say this, do not ignore their saying it. You do not have to say it back, but always acknowledge it. It can be as simple as kissing them, saying, "Thank you, I love hearing that, I care about you too," etc. But straight up ignoring it is extremely harmful. Yeah, ignoring it is a one-way ticket to being single. My ex and I had a complicated relationship in the beginning. We worked in a shop together. I'd been there for 3 years and he started as a newbie around Easter. Easter came and went, and one day as he was leaving he'd found some mini eggs behind some confectionery on the shelves. He was clocking out and I served him at the tills, and he presented the bag of mini eggs. They scanned through at full price, and I said absolutely not. It wasn't Easter. So I manually marked them down to something stupid like 20p. He blurted out, "I love you," and I just sort of stared at him. We were only colleagues at the time, but we'd flirted a bit. He didn't realize what he'd said. We continued to get closer, and soon enough he was saying "I love you" regularly. We weren't officially together, but we'd been sleeping together and he wanted a relationship. I wasn't ready to say it back. So instead of saying "I love you too," or sometimes if he just didn't want to put the pressure on me to say it back, we'd say mini eggs, since when I served him the mini eggs was the first time he said it. When we had our first fight, which was only a few weeks into sleeping together, still no official relationship. We didn't speak for 10 days. He no longer worked at my shop at this time, and one night I finished a late shift at 11 p.m. Got home to find an Amazon parcel for me. I was so confused. I panicked, wondering if someone had bought something on my account, and opened it, only to find a massive jar of mini eggs inside. His way of saying sorry and wanting to get back in contact. So yeah, that's my silly story of the day. My ex-boyfriend and I used to say mini eggs instead of "I love you" at the start. And close to the end too, when I think he was beginning to fall out of love with me. I just want to say that's adorable and kinda wholesome, and I enjoyed reading that. I actually still have that jar of mini eggs. They're all cracked now, probably due to the summer heat melting them. They'd been sat in my car all summer, and I dug them out of a box of memories he'd compiled over the year that our relationship spanned. Never threw it out. I'm still ridiculously in love with him, but I thought the cracked eggs were somewhat poetic given the situation now. Aw, how long has it been since you broke up? While I wish you to keep those nice memories and the beautiful feeling they give you, I also wish you to move on and find a happy relationship with someone else eventually. Too soon. You have awakened me too soon. Executus. Unexpected molten core. Touch their nose and say boop. Lol, I like this one. Crazy weather we're having. Huh? Say dude, that's awesome sauce, and go for a high five. You forgot to tell her to shut up too before saying that's awesome sauce. Works 1010 times. We'll wind up married. I'd about 10 out of 10 times, but I have seen it has a 100% success rate. We would need maybe 9 more people to try it lol. Oh, I've only seen it work with one couple. I've just watched it 10 times, haha. Go full tsundere, what? Is this some kind of trick? I'm not that gullible idiot. Baka. Depends on the person. It really does. Because what could be an acceptable answer to one person could be considered heartbreaking to another. Awkward situation for both parties involved. That's very sweet, and I'm flattered that you feel that way. I'd like to take things slow and not rush into using such strong words, but I'm enjoying the time we've spent together so far. You're a very sweet, kind, interesting, caring, etc. person. Why not bring out a slideshow and go over their best bits? Geez.